Up a wall, ha, hoo, ha. Ha. Internet. Ha. Brown dog, where'd you go? Brown dog. Where did the bitty brown go? Where did the bitty brown go? Where did the bitty brown go? It's not gonna start until the Bitty Brown Show. 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 Bitty Brown. Yeah! Woo! Woo! Bitty Brown, where you at, Bitty Brown? Come on, Bitty Brown! Come on, puppy dog, come here. Come on, Bitty Brown. Bitty Brown dog. Got me a Bitty Brown dog. Got me a Bitty Brown dog. Here now. We gotta turn that sound off. We gotta turn that sound off, you guys. What's up, Internet? Happy Wednesday to everybody out there. Middle of the week, freaking out. Internet. What's going on? I got me a dog here. I got me a little bitty wiggle dog. Ah. Okay, see you later. Bitty Brown dog does not like to hang out on my lap, only for short periods of time. But what's up, everybody? It's a happy Wednesday. Ow, what happened there? All right, I'm good. All right, yeah, gotta get in the seat here. Gotta get warmed up. Gotta see what's going on because it's Wednesday. Check out the chat here. See who's first in. The Fish Life, #1 into the chat. The Fish Life. I don't think I've checked out your channel. Oh, look at this. Look at this. The Fish Life. I'm gonna subscribe. Oh, 300? Oh, no, I'm one shy of 300. I was 299. Well, The Fish Life, I was 299 subscriber. First one to the chat. Go check out his channel. I'm going to after this is over. Well, this looks like it's got some good videos going here. Cool, right on. AD Aquatics, what's up? Glass Boxes, a.k.a. Joel Gillett, what's going on? Jennifer J. Sarchicino. Justin Shepard, what's up? Reverend Ryan Bob Givens. Oh, I like that. The Reverend Ryan Bob Givens. I like that. First time viewer. Long time, first time. First time. All right. Welcome to the channel. Welcome to the nonsense that this is. Wednesday's a little loose today, you guys, I have to admit, because I was out working on an aquarium, which I'll show you guys some video from that today, or not today, sorry, tomorrow. I have to edit it a little bit. I have to edit that video. AMA Aquatics, what's up? Frank Dominguez, I already said hi, so I'm repeating myself here. Lisa C, what's up? Matt Gilmet made it in on a Wednesday. What is up, dude? The Pickled Placostomus. Oh, I like that too. That's good. I like that. Let's see. Nisi is here. And who else? Jennifer J. Sarchicino is here. Corvus, can you sub me and be number 50? Well, it's possible. I think I subbed to Jennifer. Oh no. Now I'm subscribed to Jennifer J. Sarchicino. Long time Jennifer J. Sarchicino, supporter of the channel here. I thought I had already done that, but I'm on it. Let's see here. AD Aquatics likes the new painting in the background. This is actually an old painting of mine. I've been swapping them out in the background just to keep the background a little lively, because I don't have a green screen in here, you guys, so I try to keep the background at least a little exciting. See something new every once in a while, which you guys will be getting to see. Eric Gone Mad's painting coming up very soon. Probably Monday, I would guess, is when I'll have it up on here, because probably not tomorrow or Friday, but that piece is coming up. And a big, long time lapse on that one. So I got to figure out what day of the week. Excuse me, doggy. I got to figure out what day of the week that is going to be, because I have a tentative schedule here. I got to go through my my crazy notes. Let's see. Here on out, Wednesdays is going to be hardscape, wood, rocks, and substrate. So today's sort of the first of the Wednesday talking about If you see from the title there, preparation for a planted aquarium. So we're going to talk about hardscape. We're going to talk about wood, rocks, and substrate. To be brutally honest with you guys, my video segment today kind of sucks. It's sort of just a walk around of the current chaos that is the fish room and the shop. So I'm going to see some more. Or you guys are going to get to see some more stuff going on with the new 150. I know some people are excited about the new 150, and I would include myself in that group of excited people for the 150. So today we're actually going to talk about the planning of stuff. Thursdays will generally be construction, garden, arts, and stuff like that. Friday freestyle. As you guys know, Friday is the kind of ask me whatever question you want. I'm not limiting it to just fish tank stuff. You guys can ask whatever question you really want. I guess it's sort of like a AMA, I guess. Friday sort of AMA style, but with also the regular middle video segment of whatever projects I'm working on. Tuesday is going to be Reef Day, which clearly is not very popular so far, but we're going to keep plugging away on the Reef Day, hopefully getting out some more information to you guys about the possibility of doing some reef stuff out there, which today I was actually out helping some of the viewers here with plumb their new reef tank that's going in, a 75-gallon, which is pretty cool. And then Mondays is going to be Plant Day. Mondays is going to focus on plants. Plants will be Mondays. So that's the tentative schedule. We'll see how it goes. I'll probably put some polls up onto the community thing, which I did another one of those polls today to find out if people like the 4 o'clock time slot here. So far about 2/3 yes, 2/3 no. Kind of a funny thing with that community tab here on YouTube. I'm getting used to using it. Hopefully it sends out at least enough of a notification to you guys that what's the word? Or that you'll at least have an idea of what time this thing is going up, because I know that YouTube doesn't like to send out the notification that it's actually live. So, yeah, we'll see how it goes here. That's my tentative schedule. I should probably write it up and make a little video about it, right? I should make a video of like, here's my schedule for videos. It's a schedule for videos. This is filler content. Just watch this video about potential videos. I always find it hilarious when I see people post videos like that. Like, I've got a thing that I'm doing, and I'm going to tell you about the thing that I'm doing in the future with the thing that I'm doing in the future. I try to not do that here, but today honestly feels kind of like one of those days because I did move a bunch of stuff around yesterday, but I didn't really shoot video of me just moving objects around the fish room. So I'll just show you guys kind of the chaos that is going on a little bit. Like I said from the title here today, what I rarely see in the hobby is people planning ahead of time. So that's one of the things that I wanted to talk about is the preparation for a planted aquarium. I put in planted aquarium, but it could realistically be any kind of aquarium. The preparation that you need to go figure out or whatever. The Fish Life says I usually upload every Tuesday and Thursday, but I can't this week because I'm sick and it's too tough to talk. So if I make content this week, my audio would be very bad. Hey, understandably, we all get under the weather, but I'll be checking out your channel here after the thing here. The Lone Aquarist says feeding tangs, now back to UX work. We'll be listening in the background. Oh, okay, right on. Well, you got to feed the tangs. Those tangs are super hungry, always. Reverend Ryan Bob Givens says he does weddings. Remember me? Wink, wink with the wink, wink. Oh, maybe if the Reverend there, the good Reverend, has like maybe some videos up of some snazzy weddings that you've done. I'd like to check those out. Let's see what that's all about. I haven't figured out who. Well, never mind. Never mind what I was about to talk about. I just caught myself from saying something that I probably shouldn't say on here. Prying eyes and all that. Kevin Hayes, what's up, dude? I'm so glad you avoided the hurricane. You didn't even have to get ready for the hurricane because you got ready for the hurricane ahead of time and left town. Smart. It's smart. It's like a premonition, man. I think that's badass. Jennifer J is asking, so I was watching yesterday's video. When did I get all those tangs? I have had them For a while, actually, they're from Potato. Potato brought those up. They were getting too big for his aquarium setup that he had, because he was going to change his whole saltwater setup around. So they came up from Portland, from Potato Bro there. Maybe he's in the chat. I haven't seen him yet. I haven't seen him in the chat, but he brought those up, and what you call it? He brought those up and orphaned those over to me, and I'll probably be heading down there actually fairly soon again, to get some better video of his sort of extensive setup in his small house. It is honestly really impressive how much stuff he has, considering how much square footage. He doesn't have very much square footage, so it's actually pretty darn impressive. So we'll try to do some more video of that stuff. G Bear says there's an East Coast YouTuber that reminds me of your voice a little. I clicked on what I thought was you for my ride into work this morning, and his YouTube channel is the Fish Tank Guy. How weird is that? I'm gonna look this up. Hold on. Philadelphia, the Fish Tank Guy Incorporated. I'll check it out later. Maybe we got an emulator. You know, the what's the biggest compliment, right? The biggest compliment is somebody emulating you, right? So cool. I like that. I bet you his stuff's real good. I would guess. If he's emulating me, it's probably primo, right? Primo stuff. Let's see. G Bear says, I used to make ice cream, had a restaurant, and we made our own homemade ice cream. I have also done that as a chef. I worked at a small Italian restaurant, and I worked at a small Italian restaurant downtown in the Pioneer Square district here, or not here, but up north in Seattle, Washington. And used to make ice creams all the time. Ice cream and gelato. Used to make them quite a bit. It was a lot of fun. Have I ever tried Haagen-Dazs chocolate peanut butter ice cream? I don't know that I have or haven't. Guess who's going to the store? This guy right here. I guess I'll be heading to the store, try me some Haagen-Dazs chocolate peanut butter ice cream, and see how good that is. Little Largemouth is here. What's up? And Karen Halbert has arrived. Karen Halbert. Karen Halbert. Yeah. Okay. It was Pioneer Restaurant and ice cream too. That's great. Weird coincidences out there in the world. Kevin Hayes says, I'm happy I came back too. I've been slaying the maitake and the chicken of the woods mushrooms. Great time of the year to be back. Yes, maitakes and chicken of the woods are delicious mushrooms, and those are running right now for sure. I did get what I believe to be a picture of one in chicken in the woods in Alaska, but I really didn't want to take any chances somewhere that I'm not used to harvesting mushrooms and end up accidentally eating something that looks like chicken of the woods that makes me dead. So I didn't want to die, so I didn't actually harvest or eat any mushrooms while I was there. My lovely lady is what is she doing? Ah, is that a spider? I think there was a freaking spider on me. All right, well, my lovely lady is texting me stuff that I cannot deal with right at the moment, so we'll get back to that later. Sorry about the interruption. She's the only one that's allowed to interrupt the live stream. Let's see, Matt Gilmet, if you're going to talk substrate, I'd love to hear why dirted tanks are a hard no-go. Pros, cons. Was thinking about setting one up. I will be happy to talk about the Wallstad method. It is not called dirted tanks. Somebody has stolen the Wallstad method and decided to call it dirted tanks. But yes, look up the Wallstad method. That is what that method is. If you are to be putting soil or whatnot into an aquarium, she is the one that came up with it a long time ago. So I would look up the Wallstad method if you are interested in dirted tanks. And Gilmet, remind me on that in a couple of minutes, and we'll definitely get into that. Jennifer is saying, weren't you going to do an ice cream making video for us soon? Maybe for Friday. ice cream videos are coming soon. I'm not sure if that was me making that video or somebody else making that video, but ice cream making videos are coming soon. Not this week, though. They will be coming up in the next couple of weeks. Let's see. Just to... Okay. So let's see here. Our family lore says my great-grandma was great at knowing which wild mushrooms were safe and which were toxic. I definitely would never take the chance. I would agree with that, little largemouth. That's why I was saying I really wasn't going to take the chance in Alaska if I'm not used to. I'm definitely not used to harvesting mushrooms in Alaska. I don't spend a ton of time up there, and would definitely need an Alaska mushroom book or some kind of reference that I'd be looking for if I was going to harvest mushrooms up there. I did get some. I harvested some pictures of mushrooms while I was up there, which was a lot of fun. Equally as fun. Maybe not as delicious, but definitely fun. Jim Meekers made it. Excuse me, Jim Meekers made it in. As you guys can tell, I'm sponsored today by having purchased you know, this brand's coffee. I had to. I didn't have time. I had to trade my $4 for a coffee instead of just making my own coffee. So, yeah. So sorry about that, guys, for the product placement. I have been paid $0 for it. Speaking of that, I wanted to run through the quick advertising right here. If you guys are new to the channel or old to the channel or anything to the channel, feel free to pop onto this Patreon link right here. It is www.patreon.com/Joel_C. Pretty easy to get to if you can find it. If you want to patronize and sponsor this channel and sponsor me making the videos, that's what that is for. You can put in whatever amount you want on there. It is a monthly Patreon. It is not a per video Patreon, where there's been a lot of confusion about that out there. So it is a monthly donation. That it's there are some reward levels, but the main reward level is just you guys sponsoring to be able to make more videos. I'm happy to do the work if we can sponsor and fuel this madness. As you guys know, you helped kick in, and we do have the video card. So tomorrow, hopefully, the new camera will be hooked up to the new video card. So hopefully we'll have some better quality video with a little better perspective and focus and all of that. And I'm looking forward to that. And then we'll be able to move this camera over to my work table over there and probably do some straight streams, some straight up just workflow streams in regards to things coming up. Or yeah, so the stream would just be a straight workflow stream where you guys could just check out what's going on with stuff that's being worked on. So kudos to you guys. Thank you very much for everybody that's supporting. Everybody gets a shout out at the end of the video here. We've got a lot of new Patreons coming in, especially at the $1, $5, that kind of mark and stuff. I do my best to make at least 5 hour-long videos a week. So if you guys think that that's worth a couple of bucks, awesome. If you think it's worth nothing, awesome. So my goal is to turn off all advertising and have this whole thing be you guys, and be beholden to zero advertisers or any of that kind of stuff, or even YouTube essentially telling me what I can or what we can or can't do here or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like, we don't want to piss off the sponsors. Don't say shit. You know, don't say that. We're not going to pay for the tampon advertisement that played in front of your video, which is completely unassociated with anything that you're doing. Tampons and Chevy trucks. You know, we don't need any of that stuff going on here. So all that stuff hopefully will be turned off here in the future. And so yeah, that was the ad that was me trying to advertise my own thing, which I basically just, pretty sure I just made fun of myself for 2 minutes. So you know, I think that works either way. The easiest way to support here is to show up for the live stream, show up for the chat, show up to watch the live streams after the fact, all that kind of stuff. You know, either way, hit the like button, the subscribe. You guys know all that stuff. You guys aren't idiots. You guys are strong. The Fish Fam is strong. You guys know what's going on. Have you used a computer before? Yeah, it's like that. Kevin Hayes says, oh, let me double check here. Oh, Jennifer Sarchicino's allergic to mushrooms. Oh, dang, the fungus. Sneaky old fungus. I know there's no lethal maitake mushroom lookalikes. There is a chicken of the woods lookalike, not lethal, but you sit on the toilet for a while. I don't have that kind of time. I ain't got that kind of time to be hanging out on the toilet eating poisonous mushrooms, you know what I'm saying? Turbo Fish is here. What's up? Hello, everyone. By chance, anyone know about redfin tiger loaches or kept them? Lots of clicking noises, and I don't imagine that to be a good thing. Well, actually, well, first off, I'm confused. What do you mean lots of clicking noises? So Turbofish, I'm confused about the clicking noises. What do you mean? That is probably the main thing that would be confusing. Okay, so we need more information. I need more Turbofish. I need more information. I need more information. So click in, type in some more information about what is going on with that. Lisa C, are too many tannins bad for shrimp? I've been trying to breed a group of orange shrimp, but the females are all saddled, none buried for 3 to 4 months. Could the tannins from driftwood be interfering? No, I would say that there realistically can't be too many tannins in your tank, but your water parameters might be wrong. So what I would do is, I'm trying to think. So what? So orange shrimp doesn't exactly tell me what they are, but neocardinas and stuff like that, you have a definite water parameter that you need to be falling within. Maybe the temperature is wrong, maybe the food is wrong, but I would first check water quality and temperature to make sure things are pretty good with that kind of stuff, with what's going on there. But tannins, generally, I would never heard anything scientifically with having anything wrong with tannins affecting breeding or fish health or any of that kind of stuff. So but there is a possibility that the tannins that you have going on when you have going on in your tank, so I would double check what is creating the tannins. It may or may not be an issue from what is leaching into the aquarium. The easiest way to check into that would be to do your water parameters, check all your nitrates, phosphates, all that kind of stuff. If you don't have an extended, if you don't have the full water test kit, go ahead and get a liquid water test kit and start figuring out what's going on with your water. Check the GH, check the KH, check your ammonia, check your nitrites, nitrates, all that kind of stuff, and start getting a real comprehensive view of what is actually going on with your water. Tannins can be really confusing because it's just sort of a visual thing going on in the water. So that's what I would do to follow up on, figure out why your shrimp aren't breeding as prolifically as they should or shouldn't be. At Corvus, the channel is the fish guy. Oh, okay. Well, I'll look into that fish guy. No worries. No worries. I got it linked over here onto the notepad. Check out the fish guy, and I'm going to do that after the fact. And maybe he's just super like me. Maybe he's just super like I am. You know, like just a dude. I constantly get the people asking me if I am from the East Coast, so maybe it's me who just sounds like him. Ooh, possibly, could be, definitely could be a possibility, right? Matt B is asking, hey Joel, what would be the best way to donate to you so you get the most percentage? And Kevin is saying Patreon. G Bear is saying Patreon. More often than not, the Patreon is probably going to beat everyone else out percentage-wise. I was actually watching Steenfot, or I was listening to Steenfot playing in the background Well, I was working the other day, and there seemed to be a lot of confusion about the Patreon or the YouTube or any of that kind of stuff and what kind of percentages that they take. So just bear in mind that YouTube takes on average 37 to 43% of your income that you make for them, which is fine because they're hosting a site, right? They host a huge, gigantic site that is a gigantic machine that I don't think anybody is ever going to be able to replicate realistically. It's just too much stuff going on. So the percentages are different for where the money is coming from, essentially, like how things come up. But it's 37 to 43% of what is what YouTube takes. So if you make, for instance, if you make $10, then they take, essentially $4. Would be the easiest way to figure it out. If you make $100, they take $40 and you only make $60. But they take it right off the top. It's before your taxes or anything come out. So let's say you make $100, they take 40 of it, so you actually only made $60. And then from there, you also have to pay 39% taxes on top of it. So, just start doing the math in your head, and it starts becoming out to a lot less money than a lot of people think. Me personally, if with my battles that I've had with with YouTube and whatnot, and we do have most everything turned off. As far as advertising goes, as just a full disclosure thing here, let me open up my YouTube revenue here. $39 is what they pay out to me. So, it's not a lot. It's like $1 a day, basically, kind of situation. So, which, it is what it is. That's just the thing. I owe doing this show to you guys. This is really what it is why I work so hard to get this show out on time, to come here and make sure that I'm here all the time, is because you guys contribute. You guys outshine what YouTube pays out by far, leaps and bounds. You guys crush it, and we're gonna keep just going this way. This is the way that I like it. I like doing it this way. We've got a couple comments that people love this format. I love doing it too. It's a really accessible format, and my goal is to really expand on this project and make this project bigger, bring more people in, do more produced stuff. So that is the long-term goal. Those of you out there know, I will be in Chicago for the aquatic experience. So if you guys do want to come out and meet me person to person, that will be a possibility, because I will be available to the public. If that makes sense, you can come up and talk at me, holler at me. But I feel like the show is probably a lot more fun than necessarily meeting me for 2 minutes at the aquatic experience. But I'm really looking forward to actually meeting a lot of people in person that just can't afford making it to the West Coast. But a lot of people could make it to Chicago, right? So that's gonna be coming up. We basically, now I'm in the process of trying to figure out how to repay that credit card from booking that Chicago trip. So we shall see, and I'm excited for it, and like I said, we'll see what happens here in the short future. Kevin Hayes finally got part of the basement cleared out, got 2 55 gallons and a frag tank going in down there, connecting to a 300-gallon tub to the display upstairs. Got to start putting videos up again. Dude, I am stoked for that. That sounds awesome. I'm stoked to see how that's going to come along, Kevin. Let's see. I think... let's see, who was asking about the clown loaches? Jack Betts actually just gave the best answer, pretty much what I was going to answer on that. The clown loaches can make clicking sounds when they are happy, being territorial, used as a type of weapon warning or mating. The sound is produced by the grinding of their pharyngeal teeth. There you go. It has been a really long time since I had clown loaches or been around them, but that is pretty much a much better version of what I was going to answer. It's a much more eloquent answer that the way that I was going to put it. But if they're clicking around in there and having a good time and eating and doing all that kind of stuff, I think they realistically should be doing well. Let's see. Try feeding Shrimp King mineral ice. Notice a lot more buried females after the shrimp molt successfully. That is a great piece of advice right there. I would double check on the shrimp breeding there. I would double check what you're feeding to make sure that they are solidly going well. Let's see. Mission redfin tiger. 2 redfin tiger loach. Syncrosis boardmori. They're in a 90-gallon with 3 Coriodoros, 1 clown loach, and 1 veil angel, 1 redline shark. His home died. Okay, I'm trying to catch up on what Turbo is asking about right there. That's the stocking of that tank. Part 2. Plenty of hiding places and plants, but they chase each other quite a bit, making a clicking noise. I'm pretty sure the cohabitants need to go. Yeah, I think realistically what you got going on right now is just a real stocking mess. Not to say that you've like screwed anything up or anything, but you do have a bunch of fish that just should not really be in together. That redline shark and 1 singular clown loach will essentially have a problem. They just won't get along realistically. The redline shark will outgrow a 90-gallon, so I would try to rehome that red-tailed shark, the redline shark, and I would figure out which you want in there, as far as either the clown loach. Yeah, it just seems like you have a stocking issue. Like you have some of those fish, there's no way that they're going to be really comfortable by themselves. So that's what I would focus on, is possibly figuring out a better stocking for that tank, is just to figure out some of those schooling fish that need to school and get them to school together, and maybe eliminate, well, don't kill them, but maybe rehome some of those fish that are in there that shouldn't be in there by themselves. Oh, Rob Hicks Aquariums is here. What's up, man? Michael Hoffman can't hang out tonight. Just stopping in to leave and leave a like and say hi. And says, don't forget to like the stream, guys. You gotta like the stream. Let's see. Lisa C getting back in with the tannins are from 2 pieces of Malaysian wood in a 60 liter. Haven't tested in a while. My strips ran out except nitrates, which are around 5.5 parts per million in my individual liquid test kit. Okay. The biggest advice that I could give right now, other than the food advice, which we had earlier, is to order a liquid test kit and find out what is going on with your water. Test strips are essentially useless, I would realistically say. I would say that they're not useless, but they're essentially useless. They are very, very inaccurate and very difficult to read and not very effective monetarily. I know that buying a liquid test kit is more expensive up front. They're approximately $30 here stateside. But you will get a lot more tests out of them. They will last a lot longer, and they're way more accurate. So if there's an issue going on with your shrimp, you're going to need to get a liquid test kit. You know, work some overtime, do what you got to do, mow somebody's lawn, I don't know. But come up with a scratch and get a liquid test kit. It's just really where you need to be. Then you can start tracking what is going on with your water. And then be able to address what is going on, because you know, with test strips, they're just so wildly inaccurate that you're going to have a ton of problems trying to figure out what is going on. You're going to have continued problems and just kind of just a lost feeling when you're trying to figure out what exactly is going on with your shrimp, why things aren't breeding, why things are going in incorrectly, and you won't really have too much as far as the follow-up goes. If you did find out something was wrong with your water, you would need to start to make some changes, and then you'd still need to test after the fact to make sure that those changes have been effective. So get a liquid test kit, get a comprehensive reading, get a couple of days worth of comprehensive tests, and find out what's going on. And I know it's a huge pain. I'm probably feeling the same feeling that you are, is that I hate test kits. I like testing, but I hate test kits. I hate how much they cost. I hate how much of a pain in the butt they are. Stupid little vials, they're a pain. But I get where you're coming from in regards to that, but you're going to have to really start doing that comprehensive testing if you want to have a realistic breeding program going on with those shrimp, because you need to be able to figure out what's going on and figure out what problems are before they get too far along. And then once you do make some changes, then you're going to have to test to make sure that the changes are correct over the following weeks or month or however long, and make sure that you followed up on those. So that is really what I would get into for sure. Lisa C is saying that her tap water is super hard. My KH is also very high. pH is around 8 out of the tap, but the wood is closer to 7, feeding Sarah sinking granules and catappa leaves. Okay, I would it sounds like you have a really high pH water. It sounds like you have hard well water. You're gonna need to do a little bit more testing to find out exactly what's going on. So I'm gonna stick with my advice and say get a liquid test kit and find out exactly what's going on. Kevin Hayes says, I like this format way better, more interactive. On that note, I think it kind of sucks as it gets bigger. Good for the channel creators, but after 100 people or so, the chat gets ridiculous. That is one thing I would like to address, Kevin. You guys can always send in you guys can send in comments. You guys can send in messages. If you have a question, send it in to me. You can either direct message me. You can comment on the video after the comment uploads. Or one of the cool things about the Patreon now is that on the Patreon, you can go to the community page and post a question that you have onto the community page onto the Patreon. And here's the thing. I'll know that you're a patronizer, that you posted onto the Patreon, and you're somebody that, hey, oh, I got to respond to this question. So that is something that I would encourage people to do. I can also make a little bit of a video clip or something along those lines if we need to figure out what, if we could figure out what kind of question you have. I can get to it ahead of time, and I can actually prepare something instead of just having to be off the cuff going like, hey, your tank must be on fire. Your tank's on fire. Put it out with this. You know, just kidding, but so that is something that I'm working towards. I want you guys to be able to send in your questions, find out what kind of advice you need, and be able to be a little bit more prepared to be able to provide you a couple links or maybe a video segment of me doing whatever it is that you need some help with and stuff. So that is really really the point long term here, is that kind of stuff with like the Patreon community and that stuff that we'll be able to they will be able to get to and also make videos and stuff about for you guys as you guys have questions, because it is interactive. If I like the interactivity, and you're correct, it does get difficult when there are too many people in the live chat to really keep track of what's going on. But that is the way around it, is that you guys can send in direct messages. You guys can go to darkstararts.com. You guys can email me, or you can go to the Patreon and post on the community thing on Patreon, which I find to be really helpful. And it is just kind of an open source where you can post on there. So maybe I don't get to it right away, and somebody else helps you out, and maybe it's something that is pretty easy to fix, and that maybe you're just kind of having a brain fart or whatever. But I think that's a good thing that we can look forward to going over time. AMA Aquatics is lurking and listening while sorting out some reptile eggs you just found. Oh, right on. That is cool. It's always nice to find reptile eggs, like turtle eggs and stuff like that. I always thought, I was like, wow! You know, I was always super surprised when I was a kid. Excuse my poor punctuation. I'm far too tired. Oh yeah, I understand. I'm tired too. I agree. Kevin Hayes stopped watching a few people after they got too big for active chat. Okay, well, if you guys are all going to bail out if we get too successful, I don't know what to tell you. That's like the self-fulfilling prophecy of being not successful, is that people bail out because it's too successful. But as I was saying, the Patreon page is a perfect example of being able to post and then answer questions and stuff ahead of time and have a conversation that way. Let's see. Yo, how's the west side from Bracken? West side's doing pretty fine. It was pouring down rain today and pretty darn good. If I anybody out there, if I do miss your question and stuff, that is another thing. If I miss your question, go ahead and send it in. I'll be able to get to it later, if that makes sense. Because this goes up 5 days a week, so I just want to remind people that. And let's go to the video. We're going to the video, guys, because we want to talk about planning out your aquarium. Okay, when we're talking about planning out a planet aquarium, I think we just answered a question earlier from Lisa C. That is one of those things that when planning ahead of time is really going to help. Not to say that anybody's doing anything wrong or anything along those lines, but when we're this has happened to me many a time. When I've set up an aquarium, I've got some fish and I've added them in, and then I went, oh shit, what did I do here? Now I've got some fish and now I got to figure out how to take care of them. I did that stuff, and I don't recommend it. It is far too stressful to be doing stuff that way. So when we talk about planning out stuff, I plan out my sump, I plan out my substrate, I plan out my hardscape, I plan out what driftwood is going to go in, and then once I start working on that, then once I get that figured out, then I'll move on to plants and what plants are going to go in, and then I can adjust the hardscape depending on what the plants go in. Now, once I figured out what plants are going to go in, then I can figure out what is actually going to be able to live in this tank, because I do this the opposite way that most people do. Most people go, what fish do I want, and then set up the tank for the fish, and then figure out what plants will live in that tank. I actually go the other direction. I am a person that is so into plants that I put the plants first. And by the way, guys, this is your first look at the 150-gallon aquarium, which is a friggin' beauty. A little bit dirty right now, but it is a beautiful, beautiful tank, and I'm pretty stoked to get that thing in. One of the downsides is that this stand is 4 inches too tall, so I'm going to have to take that stand right there apart and make it shorter, essentially. So I was hoping to just... I was hoping to just get the stand in, throw the tank on it, get the plumbing done, and rock and roll. But I'm going to have to take the stand apart, which I'm going to do after the show here today. So, but that tank will be going in. Bracken is asking that, is that going to be a saltwater reef? No, this is actually going to be the new Planet Aquarium for the crystal shrimp that are coming in, which will be of the... I think we've agreed that the shadow panda are the ones that are probably going to be the most likely candidates to go into this scape here, because they seem to be the most readily available, and they're the ones that I would like the most. So the shadow pandas are going to be going in. Ah, shit, Gilmet was asking about his tank, and now he's the dirted tank, but now he's got to go to bed. Well, I'm sorry, brother. We will get to... I can talk about Planet Tank. I can talk about the dirted tank. I'll get to that. Actually, I'll probably... Yeah. We'll work on that tomorrow if you're here. Sorry. Sorry for not answering your question. Just message it to me on the Patreon, and I will answer that tomorrow, because I'll remember to do that. Didn't get to it yet. Let's see here. what was I talking about? Yeah, because I'm backwards when it comes to setting up an aquarium. I don't think about what fish I really want. I think about the plants and the little ecosystem that I want to set up, and then I figure out what interesting plants live within that what interesting fish live within that ecosystem. So but because this is going to be the crystal shrimp tank, I can only operate within the patterns within the parameters for the crystal shrimp, which being fairly experienced at that, it is sort of second nature for me. So tomorrow I'm going to start building the hardscape parts that go in here, all of the driftwood pieces that are going to go into the 150, and be shooting the substrate and the hardscape portions of the video after I get done messing with the stand to make it shorter so that it matches the height of all my other stands. Let's see. Is the wood in the planted tank the structure that you glued together in a previous video to a piece of glass? It is... well, I didn't glue to a piece of glass, but actually I drill into a piece of acrylic and use that as the base and add my my driftwood to it so that I can scape the driftwood how I want it, and it doesn't fall over. It actually is going to stay. But we'll be shooting a video of that going up into the live stream so that you guys can check that out at some point in time. Let's see. Nice tanks for me. First time seeing yours. Oh, is it the first time seeing my tanks? Oh, I don't know. I think I've showed off my tanks a few times. That 180, that blue 180 there, is actually the one that's going to be leaving the fish room and whatnot. Let's see. I don't want to miss anybody's stuff here. Mellow Moogle had tons of rain in Portland today. Lightning, hail at one point. Yeah, it was raining real hard today, earlier today. So, but I also wanted to show you guys, so I'm going to go back to the main screen here. There we go. What happened to the chat? Oh, there we go. So, when I'm setting up an aquarium, like here's a good example. Can you see those drawings there? There's a way to turn this. Okay. So what I do when I'm setting up and planning for an aquarium, I start to sketch this stuff out. I start to write out the stuff that's going to go into it, and I keep track of what's going on, which makes me sound like I'm super organized, which I really need to work on being more organized, honestly. What you call it? Oh yeah, I need to be more organized. It sounds like I'm super organized, but realistically I need to work on getting more organized. But this is one of the steps that helps me to get to be more organized, if that makes a lick of sense at all. What the hell happened with this thing? Oh, going super big. There we go. Okay. But that's what this is one of the ways that helps me to get to be more organized by making these little drawings, making these layouts, making these lists of exactly what I'm going through, what I'm going to be adding, and it also avoids me from making any real missteps of going like to answer Mateo's question here from Wahido. What is your choice for moss in my shrimp tank? I'm actually going to be adding 3 types of moss right off the bat, and then a couple more after the fact. Christmas moss, Phoenix moss, Phoenix moss, and Physodins will be going in here right off the bat, and then after that I will be adding a few other things like some wassertang and probably some dwarf hairgrass, a couple other things, probably some big ol' Anubias and things, you know, kind of the typical players, but nothing too out of the wild. The Bucephalanda tree that is in the 240 is actually going to go into the 180. It is being overpowered in the 240 right now. The 240 just not the greatest thing for the greatest setup for that Bucephalanda tree, so I'm actually going to be moving that over here. Oh, hold on, I gotta answer this question here real quick. What have you named the artwork on the stand behind you? Fotis Aurelius. Right? Isn't that what I named it? I think I named it Fotis Aurelius. Well, hold on, hold on. Just bad jokes. Yeah, I named it Molecules. I'm terrible at naming paintings. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I rarely do I ever name them, and apparently that one is listed as Molecules. But either way, somebody needs to come over here and buy that painting. That's really what needs to happen at this point. I think somebody needs to come over here and buy that thing. Peeping Tom. Maybe I'll name it Peeping Tom. I like that. That's I'm gonna write that down over here. This painting is called How's that go? PP Tom, right? Yeah. Okay, I named it PP Tom. Let's see. Planning. That sounds logical. I shoot from the hip, buy on impulse, then suffer through a long list of unforeseen issues. Oh, I really like that. I really like that. Lumpy dog having the issues and stuff. But this is one of the things that I was really impressed today with the I went out to Ashley's place, and I feel like a douchebag right now because I completely forgot her spouse's name, even though I spent all day talking to him. I caught his name one time, and then I meant to ask what it was again on the way out, and then, I don't know, I forgot. But I feel like a dingleberry because I only caught it once, so I'm going to text her and find out what get his name from her. This is one thing I was definitely impressed from going out there. They are taking their time to set up their aquarium that is going on there. That one is actually going to be a reef tank. They're going to have a planted tank at some point in time in the future. So that's... but I was really impressed by them, like, taking their time, learning the system, figuring out what's going on, and just going kind of slowly, step by step, getting into their aquarium. I was really impressed by that because I know a lot of people that do the same thing that I do. Is like, let's get this thing set up, let's get the stuff in it, let's fill it with water, let's go. You know, and the next thing I know, I end up with a fish or something along the lines of a long list of unforeseen issues, as Lumpy Dog says. And I've been down that road. I went down that road a long time ago, far too many times, and I hope to never do that again. I hope to never do that again. So I'm just kind of showing you guys some of the from somebody who's a fairly disorganized, I'm the kind of person, I do have some messes going on around. It's not total chaos, but the planning is what really needs to go in, just to show you guys a little bit what's up, that even I have to really kind of think about what is exactly going to go into my tank, what is going to go on, what's going to go in there, what kind of driftwood is going to go in there. As Lisa was asking earlier, her tannins are kind of running wild, so you know, that's the kind of stuff I think about. I think I need tannins in this tank, so I'm going to make sure I get extra leaves and stuff like that set up and hold them so that I'm ready to go with that stuff pretty much at all times, realistically. Well, not all times, but you know, sometimes I forget to order things or whatnot, but to make sure that stuff's all ready to go and set up for whatever what the plants are going to be. Like I said, I kind of do it a little bit differently. I do the ecosystem first, and then I find out who lives in the ecosystem, if that makes sense. Whereas doing this crystal shrimp tank, it is a little bit backwards to how I normally do it, because normally I do the ecosystem and then that's what's the word? So what's the word I'm looking for there? I normally lack the foresight. So no, what the hell was I talking about? My train of thought just ran right off the rails. But oh yeah, okay. So with the crystal shrimp here, I do know where this tank needs to land parameters wise. So I do actually have kind of an upper hand here, because I know what's going to go into this tank ahead of time, and this tank is actually going to be built the other direction in regards to the crystal shrimp need a sanctuary in which they can live, because I desperately want to have my colony back with breeding and paying attention to shrimp and doing that kind of stuff. I need my shrimp sanctuary back, and I'm glad to get to the point now where Mateo, that's where I'm moving to, so quit. That's where I want to move to. That's my long-term plan, so quit advertising it on here. Mateo. Stop it, Mateo. Mateo. Stop advertising where I want to move to. I should probably message you privately, but that's where I want to move to. That's where Mateo's coming from. Well, Idaho, the Wyoming-Idaho border is where I want to move to. That is where I want to live, and that's where I want to spend the rest of my days. Chilling out, maxing, relaxing, all cool. Shooting some b-ball outside of the school and all that stuff, right? Let's see. Lisa C, I keep thinking my screen is freezing, but it's just a thinking pause. Yeah, every once in a while I like, where's my brain? That does happen to me from time to time, and I have a tendency to just get real quiet for a second, right? And then people think that their screen is paused. I'm sorry, it's just a bad habit. It's a bad habit that I still think is funny. I don't know. I'm like 5 years old when it comes to that. So sorry about that. But yeah, let's talk a little bit about today. Earlier today, let's just keep saying today. So earlier today, I was helping plumb out a 75-gallon reef. It was going to be a 75-gallon reef, and let's get a little quiet here at the end of the coming up on the end of the show, everybody. So plumbing that out, and it just kind of made me think, oh damn, I need to do a quick video on the live stream today to plan to talk about planning and some of the planning that goes into these kinds of things. Somebody had told me a little while ago that Matt Gilmet was asking about the dirted aquarium earlier. A lot of people have the opinion that dirting an aquarium is cheaper, and I personally have never found it to be cheaper. It has not been a cheaper setup from what I have seen over the years, especially because of the hassle and headache and nonsense that goes into first of all, setting up a dirted aquarium is, for some reason, people think that it's, with air quotes, cheaper. You just have to buy 7 different cheap products to put in there, right? You have to put, you just accumulate a bunch of cheap products, which is going to take a bunch of time to get. It's still going to cost money to buy if you're going to buy it. And then you have an aquarium that's super difficult to deal with because anytime you move plants or anything around like that, it's total chaos. And somebody was posting about that earlier today, which I had seen, that they didn't necessarily like doing doing a tank that way because that was one of the big issues that they had. And I was like, oh my God, somebody else is saying stuff that I've been saying. It's a huge pain in the ass to move plants around in a dirted tank, and that is just brutally difficult for me to not be able to move stuff. Hold on a second. I got something weird going on in my nose. This is weird. Mateo's saying, if I play hockey, you got a team. Oh, man, I don't know. I'm getting kind of old for playing hockey and missing work and projects that I need to get done because I got a screwed up knee or something like that. Phil Emerson says, wow, your painting is fantastic. Bravo. Phil Emerson, that painting back there could be yours. That could be yours if you want to buy it. That one's still for sale. Believe it or not, that one hung up in a gallery for like 3 or 4 months, and nobody bought it. I was kind of surprised. I figured that would be one that would have sold, and the ones that I didn't think were going to sell were the ones that sold. I don't know. I don't know how any of this stuff works. None of it makes sense to me at all. Thinking is never a bad habit. Olympia Shrimpery saying, great topic. I'm slowly building a 40-gallon planted aquarium. What CO2 systems are you going to use? Actually, man, I should do a CO2 video here probably pretty soon. Hold on, let's check the schedule. Guys, we got a schedule here now, and I talked about it earlier, and I don't know if anybody's happy or sad with the current schedule. So Monday is plants, Tuesday is reefs, rocks, reef and equipment, or reef and reefing equipment. Wednesday's hardscape wood rock substrate. Thursday, construction garden greenhouse lights. So maybe Thursdays would be the CO2. And then Friday is the freestyle ask me whatever the heck you want to ask me. On Fridays, that's the current lineup for the week. I would love to extrapolate and go bigger on that lineup, by the way. You know, all you Patreonizers and whatnot are contributing towards kicking this show up bigger. That's the plan. That's the plan. Kick the show up bigger. Go bigger. So we are still short of our goal to go super big with this. Super big with this. We are short of our goal, but hopefully we get there. I hope we get there. $1 at a time. That would be cool. Let's see. Mateo says he's 49. I am not too old. Who knows? I might not be too old for hockey, but I might be too old for hockey. I might be just young enough for what is that called? Skate dance, I think. I might be able to make it in there. Who knows? Let's see. Sergeant Tank says dirted aquarium equals pain in my ass. I have a dirted pond. Yeah. Dirted aquariums are hugely a big pain in the butt. Essentially what you need to do, and it's not dirted, it's the Wallstad method. Look up the Wallstad method. The ecology of a planted aquarium is the way to look up that book. Is this the right one? Yeah, it's been out since 1999 is when that one, when that book came out. So that's realistically the one, the book that I would say that if you wanted to do a Wallstad method is look up the ecology of a planted aquarium, is the book I would look up on Amazon. And if you go look that up on Amazon, you should definitely go through the Darkstar Arts thing before you go buy it. Go through the Darkstar Arts banner. That's my website is Darkstar Arts, and you can go through that. And then something that is really good to those out there and the patronizers, we did have a little bit of a contest for the original patronizers. The shrimp paintings will be heading out very soon. I'm going to be wrapping those up for shipping, like, what's the word here? Shipping those out Friday, I believe. I believe those will be shipping out Friday. I hope. It's Repashy Wednesday at the Shrimpery. Oh, I love Repashy. I love Repashy shrimp food. I still do. I still love Repashy shrimp food. Is shrimp souffle. Let's see. Mary Beth Mabe. Hello. Learned of you through Jimmy of Aquarium Co-op. Corey, Aquarium Co-op Coop. I like the show so far. I have watched 3 episodes. Thank you for being an entertaining person to view. New to the hobby. Oh, you're very welcome. Thank you for coming out. Okay, Nisi is done folding papers. Sorry, not trying to be non-existent in chats. Nisi, we know you're there. We always know you're there. We know you're around, Nisi. No worries. Any experience with those H2O2 oxygenators? What's the reason for those? It's hooey. Those H2O2 oxygenators are goofy hooey, and my friend and your friend Tom Barr is the one who really tested those out, and I trust his opinion. He sent me his whole write-up on what they worked on with those what are they called, something star oxygenators in the tank. They don't do anything. They don't do anything except create a bubbly thing that do stuff. So don't. I wouldn't spend your money on those. Tom Barr is the guy who really looked into that. I essentially said, hey, man, what do you think about these things? And he said, hey, man, I'm working on a big study for those. And I said, okay, man, you go ahead and do that and let me know what happens, because Tom is much smarter than I am. So I just let him work on the wicked smat stuff and then see what he finds out. And they are just a big waste of money, ultimately, when it really comes down to it. Not to mention the fact that it's not supposed to allow algae to grow in a planted aquarium, and yet the ones that he had grew algae all over them. Strange. How that works. Those twin star things don't work, so I wouldn't get all into that. Yeah, personally, I wouldn't, and I do not spend my money on them. Lisa C asks, what do you think about mulm in the substrate? Good, bad, or just ugly? I like the mulm in my substrate. I like to have some mulm in my substrate. You guys know that I very rarely clean my substrate, although you guys saw that I did do that about 4 weeks ago, and some of that old substrate I had, the front area had gotten a little accumulated with stuff, so I actually did a little bit of gravel vacuuming up in there, but I don't. I often leave my fish mulm down there and allow my plants to take care of it once I have a fully established tank. And realistically, I've had really long-term planted aquariums that everything worked out fine. The only thing I had to do is a little bit. The only thing I've really ever had to do was a little bit of water changes and occasionally dose some NO4 and keep things growing pretty well. Oh, excuse me. Well, hey guys, we are at the over the hour mark here. So, you know, as you guys know, we're either going to get to the end of the show here or someone's going to freak out and go with the extension thing. So, as you guys know, sometimes the extension happens. Otherwise, we just get ready to wrap it up. But we'll be... Let's see. I'm going to see what I can do about doing a CO2 video to show my CO2 system. It's been a long time since I've showed my CO2 system, so I think that that's a pretty good one. Mellow Moogle saying the Master Test Kit is on sale via Amazon. I know they were talking about that earlier. Go through the Darkstar Arts page through the Amazon there. Yeah, that's probably the best way to do it. Andy Gall and Cookies for Dark with just the lol and the lurkers. There are so many lurkers in here, you guys. I don't mind lurkers. Some people just don't want to chat, they want to listen, and hey, that's half of the reason for doing it, right? Let's see. People often use hydrogen peroxide with their tanks. Still doesn't feel right googling where to buy it. I feel like I might get my IP flagged. Hydrogen peroxide is not dangerous. Jordan Leroy, people use spot treatment of hydrogen peroxide. Don't worry, you won't get your IP flagged for purchasing hydrogen peroxide. Don't worry, you won't get flagged for that. You can just go to the drugstore and buy some hydrogen peroxide right off the shelf. I believe the last time I bought it, it was $1.29 at the what's that store we normally go to? We have kind of like a weird, what's it called? Winco. We have a Winco here that is kind of a strange place, kind of a strange grocery store, but mostly enjoyable. It's just kind of chaos up in there, but yeah, just go buy your hydrogen peroxide at the store. It's very useful for a lot of aquarium stuff, like cleaning old aquariums, spot treatment of algae, that kind of stuff. All right, well, we're getting up here to the end of the show today, so I hopefully don't miss anything. Hopefully I didn't miss anybody's anything anywhere. Jordan Leroy, I'm in the UK, so no idea where would stock it. I'm not sure what you call a drugstore in the UK, but they do have drugstore stuff where you buy medical. What the hell is that called? It's like there's a name for it. I don't know what the drugstore is called in Europe, but yeah, like a chemist. Yeah, like where do you go to get Advil and ibuprofen and bandages? Pharmacy? Drugstore? Pharmacy? I don't really. They call it a chemist in the UK. There we go. That's kind of what I was thinking. I was thinking it must be that. Pro Skater. That painting's for sale. If you want to buy it, go to darkstararts.com and buy that painting. I highly recommend you do that. It would be good. All right, we're getting up here to the end, and I want to give the... Oh, oops, I forgot to click the button. Ah. You guys, sometimes I forget to click the button over here. All right, so giving a shout out here to all the Patreonizers. I much appreciate it, and don't forget to patronize some of your other favorite channels out there. Search for them, whether it's the Aquarium Co-op or Jimmy or Steenfot or any of those guys. Go ahead and I'm sure I missed a bunch of people. I can't name all of YouTube, you guys, but check out for any other patronizers out there. I want to give a shout out to all of our current patronizers. At the top of the list, we've got the Aquarium Co-op at $250 a month, which is crazy. I don't know who else could match that, but it's possible. Much appreciation to the Aquarium Co-op and Corey out there. At the $20 a month mark, this is more attainable for most people. You know what I'm saying? Is Steven Skoglund, Longwoo, and Sashweemy Whiskey. Coming down to the $10 mark, we've got Joel Gillett, a.k.a. Glass Boxes, one of our moderators out from New Zealand. We've got Dean H. We've got Vince Grippa. We've got Denzel Gregory, Nick K. Aquatics. Oh, Rob Hicks, who was here earlier. Jack Betts, who was here earlier. Matt Gilmet, who was here. Our boy, Cichlid Bro, a.k.a. Philadelphia Phil. M. Den Hollander, who is our #1 patronizer, or the very first original patronizer. Down here at the $5 mark. Oh, Jennifer has moved up to the $10 club. She's in the $10 club, so let's not forget Jennifer J. Sarchicino. She changed her patronizing up from $5 to $10. You can always change the amount you want to put up there. You can always put in a custom amount. We have some funny people that put in pennies and like $5.06 and stuff like that. It's very sneaky. And of course, Pamela Earlywine, the only one at $6.99 a month. $6.99, get you some live streams. Kevin Keener at $5. Candy Overhauls, Addison Nishijima, Jim Meeker, Karen Halbert, Eve Deigel, Kevin Hayes, Gene Fensky, aka the Olympia Shrimp Shrimpery, who is right there. And Karen, not to be last, KZ Ellis. Down here at the $2 and $1 mark, we've got Bracken Ward, AMA Aquatics, Matthew Wager Hagerton, Theodore Schultz, Priscilla MK, check her out for some art if you need some. Jeff Jackson, Thomas Donchek, Nisi of the North, our favorite moderator of all time. Huge contributor, one of those people out there that contributes by posting to Facebook and sharing this stuff around. Which stuff is all very important. Nisi says, we're so close to the first goal on Patreon. Let's see if we can close the gap. Oh, thank you very much. 3D Reefer and Matthew down here at the very bottom. But much appreciated to everybody. Everyone has different abilities to do this, that, and the other thing. The biggest thing that you can do is show up, hang out, chat, and do what we got to do and help everybody answer the questions that we have as far as the cosmos is concerned, right? We're all confused. We're not sure where little, big, tiny, microscopic, huge baby Jesus is gone, and maybe we'll figure it out here on the live stream, right? Yeah, at least we can talk about the moon and what might possibly grow on the moon. Oh, man, I'm not even sure. Yeah, either way, I hope everyone out there has a fantastic Wednesday. We went over the hour-long mark. We stayed on extra long today. Either way. All right, much love to everybody. Stay super safe. I'm super tired of hearing about stories right now of people getting in car crashes and stuff like that. Let's try to take a deep breath and pay a little closer, little more attention to the things that we're doing, and hopefully we'll definitely keep some people safe out there, and let's do that. Everyone knows I've been bitching about the fireworks people. Let's just put the fireworks people to the side, and let's pay a little more attention while we're driving around. let's just do that for today. Let's do that for today. We'll pay a little bit more attention. Let's put our phone in the glove box so we don't even know that we have it, and turn off our DVD players and all that kind of BS nonsense we got going on in there. And don't worry, automated cars are coming very soon, so we'll be looking forward to that. But let's just try to pay a little bit of attention. A little bit of attention will go a long way, and we'll all be kicking ass. And we'll see you tomorrow at 4 o'clock Pacific Spoopty time, whatever the thing is. If they decide we're at daylight savings time or whatever the heck we're talking about. Have a fantastic night, and cover up your ears, because here comes the later. I can't get too hot on the mic. I've got the compression going. Where's the button go?